Hello, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone has a good new year. Looking forward to starting the year out strong. Just some news that broke recently. Harvard President Claudine Gay has resigned. If you don't remember, back in the beginning of December, there was 3 presidents of different universities, Harvard, University of Pennsylvania, and MIT, that were questioned before Congress due to, movements going on at the schools that seem to be pro-Hamas, and many would describe as anti-Semitic. If you don't remember, here's a little bit of that exchange right here.
Do you believe that type of hateful speech is contrary to Harvard's code of conduct, or is it allowed at Harvard?
It is at odds with the values of Harvard.
Can you
But
not
our
say here that it is
values
against the
also-
code of conduct at Harvard?
We embrace a commitment to free expression, even of views that are objectionable, offensive, hateful. It's when that speech crosses into conduct that violates our policies against bullying.
So, that's pretty interesting. They're basically taking a line that would seem to protect free speech, although we would have to go back and see in her record, is that something that she's done? I would imagine probably not, as Harvard is extremely skewed liberal, and I would imagine that they do not protect conservative speech the same way that they would protect other speech, but that's another separate issue. Let's continue here.
Harassment
Does that
and
speech not
intimidation.
cross that barrier? Does that speech not call for the genocide of Jews and the elimination of Israel?
Congresswoman Elise Stefanik also grilling the president of Penn.
I am asking, specifically calling for the genocide of Jews. Does that constitute bullying or harassment?
If it is directed and severe or pervasive, it is harassment.
So the answer is yes.
It is a context-dependent decision, Congresswoman.
It's a context-dependent decision. That's your testimony today. Calling for the genocide of Jews is depending upon the context.
The backlash was
So, of course, people were outraged by this, just the fact that they wouldn't simply just admit that, and you could even see that little smirk that she had on her face there when she's answering that question. It was, it's just disgusting. So I believe this woman here from University of Pennsylvania, Liz McGill, I think, she resigned pretty early on after this whole thing blew up. And now we have the Harvard president, Claudine Gay, resigning as well. She says, "It is with a heavy heart but a deep love for Harvard that I write to share that I will be stepping down as president. This is not a decision I came to easily. Indeed, it has been difficult beyond words because I have looked forward to working with so many of you to advance the commitment to academic excellence that has propelled this great university across centuries. After consultation with members of the corporation, it is in the best interests of Harvard for me to resign so that the community can navigate this moment with a focus on the institution rather than any individual." So, translation here, she is being pressured to step down because her words and her actions have completely been blown up and is making Harvard as a whole look completely terrible. So they need to get her out of the spotlight. It does also say here that she is not completely leaving Harvard. She will still be working at Harvard, I would imagine, at a prominent position, just not the president, not the front-facing person that will direct all of the attention. So, this is probably to be expected. Of course, she also plays victim. It has been distressing to have doubts cast on my commitments to confronting hate and to upholding scholarly rigor, 2 bedrock values that are fundamental to who I am, and frightening to be subjected to personal attacks and threats fueled by racial animus. So, of course, she takes no accountability, blames everything on racism, and this is just the playbook nowadays. If you think about it, she really has come out of this pretty unscathed. Her reputation is definitely damaged, but she still got a job. She still got a prominent position at one of the largest and most well-funded colleges in the entire country. And, I would expect she will continue doing what she's doing and be very happy about it. So this is from back just around when when this initially happened in early December. CNN, of course, saying that Harvard has every right to back their president And, they're not entirely wrong. I don't completely disagree with the argument they make here. They say here, on the merits, they are correct. Context does matter, and permitted speech should be as broad as possible. Now, this is a statement that I think most people would agree with. However, it's not something that they've followed for the past 5 to 10 years. I mean, has CNN, have these media companies, have these universities, have they taken that principle on free speech? I don't think so. I mean, we've seen conservative speakers banned from speaking at universities. We've seen harassment campaigns designed to stop conservative speakers and conservative ideas from spreading. So, I mean, to use this argument in your defense now, it's just absurd, but it's also not surprising at all. But, at least at the bare minimum, what we're doing is forcing them to admit that these ideas are wrong. That clearly she's now had to resign, so they can't just keep this lie going that, that they're moral and they're virtuous. So it is good that we continue to call them out. It's good that she's no longer the president. We'll definitely keep looking at it and see what her position is going forward. And then I believe there's still one more president that still has her job, because you can see here, University of Pennsylvania, Liz McGill has resigned. Calls for others to do the same. So now Claudine Gay has joined them. The other one from Michigan, I believe, MIT, she still is the president as far as I can tell, so hopefully she will be resigning soon as well. And but there's still, of course, that does not solve any of the issues. These universities are going to continue down the same path of wokeism and leftist ideology, and I would imagine this is only the beginning of some of the insanity that they will defend in the years to come. So hopefully we can continue to watch that, and we can do whatever we can to prevent that. If you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I would also appreciate if you'd subscribe, give the video a like. I plan to continue covering news like this, current events, politics, technology, whatever I think is interesting, religion, and anything that I think is relevant and important. So if that's something that interests you, definitely subscribe, and I will be posting videos as often as I can. Thanks again for watching, and have a good one.